Before we start diving into all the code examples, it's important for us to answer the question, what is Ionic? In short, Ionic is a mobile-optimized open-source framework for building cross-platform apps, such as Android and iOS, using familiar web technologies like HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. But let's go a little deeper with our definition. Historically, when an app designer wanted to deploy on multiple platforms, they would have to write one version for iOS using Objective-C, another version for Android using Java, and perhaps even another version for Windows using C#. This approach certainly does not lend itself well to efficiency, reuse, or maintenance, and few companies can afford such an approach. Ionic enables developers to build the app once, using the development tools they're already familiar with, and deploy it on multiple platforms. Ionic has always been built on top of Angular. The first version was built on top of Angular 1. Now we have Ionic 2 that is built on top of Angular 2. So not only are we reusing our knowledge of general web technologies, but we're also able to leverage our knowledge specifically of the Angular framework. This is also beneficial because we can realize all the usability and performance improvements of Angular 2. And also it hooks us into the larger Angular developer community. Ionic has always been based on being able to seamlessly integrate with Cordova. The Cordova library is what enables us to access the native features on the device from our JavaScript or TypeScript code. What is Cordova, you ask? Let's take a closer look. First, you heard me mention that Cordova enables us to access native features on the device. These are things like geolocation, the device camera, the accelerometer, vibrating the device, and much, much more. These features actually have native APIs on each platform that must be called. The Cordova library normalizes these calls and provides a simple JavaScript wrapper around these native API calls so that they may be called from JavaScript code. Cordova is specifically designed to be used for mobile apps being built using HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. These are true mobile apps that are natively installed from an app store, not just a mobile optimized website that looks okay on a mobile device's browser. Cordova has now been around for many years, and there is a huge and thriving ecosystem of high-quality plugins. We can leverage these plugins inside of our Cordova-based apps. Cordova has millions of downloads over the last few years. The library continues to mature and increase in quality. This is yet another reason why it's ideal to be used inside of Ionic apps. Later in this course, we'll look at Ionic Native, which is the Ionic library we use to easily interact with Cordova.